Okay, like I told you at the end of a video 2 videos ago, I wanted to show you something that used to take me an awful lot of time, and it starts out with something like this in Illustrator, but for me, it started out with one little 20 by 20 square that then I had to ink in the individual squares. When we get to the end of this, you're going to see and kind of appreciate where we're going with this. So for right now, I just want to highlight this stuff. Let's go ahead and do this together. Again, I did the math and we got some weird numbers. We're going to end up with a 799 pixel square. Yeah, I could use different numbers and do it a different way, but this is what we got, and it's scalable, so it's okay. We can make this bigger. So I'm just going to click, once again, black fill, no stroke. Always, always, always. Come on, you guys. Pay attention to that stuff. And I'm going to click, and I want it 20 pixels by 799. Click OK. Hit V to get the move tool, or the black arrow, the selection tool, move tool in Photoshop. I want to move this because I want the right-hand side of this at, now I'm going to change this transform back because I'm going to move this in the middle. You're telling Illustrator where to start measuring from. And I want to start measuring from that upper left-hand corner. Okay? So I know how far it's going to go. And I want it to go 400 pixels from the left-hand side, which is why I have this set up right here to the left-hand side, to over here 400 pixels on the right-hand side. So in order to do that, and I want this is 20 pixels, the next one I want 1 pixel of white and 19 pixels of black. 2 pixels of white, then 18 pixels of black. All the way down till I get over here and it's 19 pixels of white, 1 pixel of black. And if you do the math, it's 20 times 20. That's 400. It's not tough math. Okay? But how do we get 799? I'll explain. Okay, but for right now, we just need to make this. So with the selection tool, the black arrow, I'm going to hit return and move this 380 pixels horizontally, 0 pixels vertically. And the reason for that is because 380 plus 20, which is the width of this, is 400. Click copy. Now, I want this to be 1 pixel wide, not 20 pixels wide. But I want to resize it from the right-hand side. So in properties, in the transform panel, up here in the control bar, wherever you want to do it, I'm going to do it in properties right here. I want to change the registration point to the upper left-hand corner. Boom. See that? Upper left-hand corner. So now I'm measuring from this point up here. And I want the width to change, but I don't want the height to change with it. I don't know. Do you have this locked? See that right there? That's locked. That is locked. Click on it again. That is unlocked. I am not locked. When I change one, the other one's not going to change. So I'm going to change this to 1. And now watch when I hit tab, the left-hand side is going to shrink towards the right. I'm going to hit tab. Watch the cursor. Watch right here. See how it did that? So now when I select these two, we have a width of 400 pixels, which is exactly what we want. Now, how can I get this to put in 19 pixels of white, then 2 pixels of black, and 18 pixels of white? The blend tool. That is our friend. Object. Now remember there's 20 and I have 2 here. We want 18 steps. Object, blend, blend options. You have to be able to do 3rd grade math in order to do anything precise. This is not hard. Get out a pencil and paper. Start scratching away. Figure this out. 18 steps. Click OK. And then we want to blend. Object, blend. Oh, excuse me. We have to tell Illustrator, these are the objects I want to blend. If you don't select anything, nothing's going to happen. Object, blend, Option Command B, make. Boom, click away and go, oh my goodness, that is amazing. Okay, and it's exact. It is precise. But now I want to make this grow from here up to the other side. I want to reproduce this on the other side. And yeah, I could do it manually just like I did before, but then you wouldn't learn anything new. So why don't we use the reflect tool? Let's click on this bad boy right here, and reflect is underneath the rotate tool. And when I say underneath, I don't mean the tool below it. I mean click and hold, and it is literally underneath the rotate tool. That's the reflect tool. Okay? So, boom. That's the tool. And we can option click out here and all this stuff. But why not just go up to Object and just so you can see, transform and reflect. And it's going to reflect it right on top itself. Okay? And notice there's no shortcut here. We could make those. Okay? Boom. This happened. And the settings, preview's on, vertical, 90 degrees. Okay, got it? Those are the settings you have to make. You change things, other things happen, you know, and it's not always what you want. But we want it to go from thin to thick. And we want those same gaps to be reproduced. So we click copy. And we get a black thing. Well, let's move this, and I think you know what's coming. We click on the selection tool, and now remember, let's change our registration point to the left-hand side, right there, our registration to the left-hand side. So we're telling Illustrator, move it from this upper left-hand corner. And do we want to move it 400 pixels? No, we don't, because we want to overlap. We've got that 1 pixel right here. We want that 1 pixel to drop right on top of the other 1 pixel that's underneath this right here. So we need to move this 399 pixels to the right. Hit return. Change this horizontal to 399. Hit tab. And it looks like nothing happened, but something happened. Click copy. Whoa, don't click copy, Command Z, because we already have the copy sitting right here. Silly me. Hit return, 399, tab. Notice it did move over. This now aligned perfectly. Don't click copy, click OK. And now we click away, and we've got this 1 pixel that's over the top of itself. But aren't you a perfectionist? Doesn't that bother you that there are 2 bars? There's 1 bar everywhere else, but there are 2 bars right here. It bothers the heck out of me, so I'm going to select everything. And remember, we come up to Object and Expand and click OK. And then we click on this, and what's going to happen? What's going to happen? It's a group, but it's a group on both sides. So I'm going to select both again, Shift-Command-G to ungroup, click away. And now when I click on this, one click, if I hit delete, will it go away? Well, trick question. It's going to look like it didn't go away, but it is going to go away because there's another one underneath it. And now there's 1 line right there. If I click on it and hit delete, oh, geez, Command Z. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Now, we're going to select all this. We're going to group it, Command G. Then we're going to click on the artboard tool, double click anywhere in here where we're on top of it. Click the black arrow, click 1 time to select it, Command C, jump over to Photoshop. You know what's coming. Command N. We're going to hit return because we're going to accept the clipboard, which is that weird $7.99. I'm going to click Command plus so we're working at the same size. Command V, Smart Object, hit return again. It's sitting right there. This time I'm just going to create a new layer and Shift Option Command E to merge everything. Command T, rotate, holding down Shift, hit return, change this blend mode to difference. And this right here used to take me forever because you can't draw a straight black line all the way across. This line has to be underneath this line. And it was a labor of love. I loved what I was doing. and it was always really cool. And now I can hit Shift Option Command E to merge all this on a new layer, and then hit Command I to inverse it so that I can see the difference between what's black and what's white and what's white and what's black. And which one do you like? Depends on my mood. Right now, kind of like that one. I used to sandblast these. I'd draw them perfectly and ink them, but then I would affix sandblast stencil onto some object that I could then sandblast after cutting out every single square here and get a three-dimensional version of this. And these were pretty popular in the 80s and made me some dough. One of them hung right in the entryway to one of San Diego's premier interior designers in the 80s, and he had it there for an open house when all kinds of other bigwigs were coming in. It was kind of a cool project. But what took me days and days and days literally takes a couple minutes. When you do a little third grade math on a piece of paper, figure this out in advance, and then just let Illustrator do all the precision work, and Photoshop add the arty oomph to it. Pretty cool, huh? Hey, you know what's coming? We're going to save this. Huh? I should have thought, what the heck am I going to title this thing? 40 hours. Because that's how long I spent on one of these things. Barely sleeping. Save that as a PSD, close that, jump over to Illustrator, Command S, and we'll click on 40 hours right there and save that. All right, so I hope you had a little fun with this op art. What I want you to do now is experiment. Okay, Scott, I'm done with that quest. No, experiment. What can you do? Think up something, do a little math, play with the blend tool, take your Illustrator work into Photoshop, and discover something new. Scotch, come here, look at this. I'll give you a clue. 95%, 98%, I don't know, 99.9%. There's a lot of crap that's going to get made. But there's going to be a few, whoa, that is cool. How'd you do that? And, and I'll share it and give you full credit. Got it? Have some fun with this. This is the part of the Mac Lab where you learn a new skill and you try to make it yours and you try to do something original. That's the whole point of this class. It's not to just reproduce what I do. It's to learn these skills and then use your own voice to say something amazing. And yeah, you people who want to animate, man, After Effects or animate. Think about this. Bring these lines in. You can do so many cool things using tools like this. Op art background, drop it in a movie clip, let it play while you do your other animation in front of it. There, a whole world of opportunities for those of you who will take the time to explore.